Hi there, welcome to Season AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Good afternoon, welcome. It's going to be a quick video. I'm not doing maybe half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour. I just wanted to just touch on this issue because I feel it's relevant. Hi there, and welcome to Season AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Good, wishing you all a pleasant weekend. 1 second, let me just check something here. History. There's something I need you to see quickly, not that one. I don't know what I see. This is the one I'm looking for. Where is it? Here we go. 1 second. I need you to just see Ali Ndume. I want you to listen to him.
Stop getting ripped off by cable TV and streaming fees.
Sorry about that. So I don't know. Let me mute this one. I'll just take it off 1 second whilst you watch. I'm just checking something forward. Okay, just bear with me, please. We're going to talk about this briefly. It's to do with it's to do with Ali Ndume, and he said something about giving people. It's going to be. He wants to give people. 1 second, please. He wants to give them death penalty for beg your pardon, for drug trafficking. So, and we just want to be sure. Hi there, welcome. We just want to say if they want to do the same thing. So I'm gonna listen. I'll play it and you'll listen. So let me play it and we can then discuss because I want you to hear it. I want you to hear him say it because it's very important. 1 second.
This amendment is supposed to
Sorry
toughen
about
the
that.
laws
Okay.
against drug trafficking or use.
Okay.
Therefore, Section 11 of the proposed bill,
Sorry, just bear with me.
the proposed bill,
Yeah.
Section 11, distinguished colleagues, go to that, was the original submission. It's supposed to be toughened in order to discourage the. So
listen.
I am surprised that
Listen.
the committee is recommending a softer.
You know what?
punishment.
I'm gonna just take this
It
off
was a
from my
life
hair for a minute, so I want you to hear me
we should
properly.
change it to death sentence. This is practiced everywhere in this country that are serious about dealing with.
Give me a minute. Right. Okay.
So when we come to take it close by close, please, distinguished colleagues, let's change that section 11 to read death sentence.
Okay.
By hanging or whatever.
So
this is why I as we go along, my other observations, but please, distinguished colleagues, let's show seriousness in this joint assembly that we have opportunity to look at the law. Thank you, Chief. I do want to stop you because
let me go back again. I want you to hear it in case you didn't hear it.
transparent. So,
I want you to hear the place where Senator Ndume, where he said that they want to have death penalty for those who carry out drug trafficking.
I am surprised
So
that the committee is recommending a softer punishment. It was a life imprisonment. In fact, we should change it to death sentence. This is practiced everywhere in this country that are serious about dealing with drugs. So when we come to take it close by close, please, distinguished colleagues, let's change that section 11 to read.
So bear with me.
Death sentence.
We're just trying to make this work.
Or whatever. This is why
We just want to touch on why we don't agree with Ali Ndume. So I'm going to play that again.
Let's
Did we go around?
In this assembly that we have opportunity to look at the law.
Ali Ndume says that he wants death penalty for drug traffickers. So the question is, we should be asking for.
In the decision, I am accountable to my conscience and to my community. Death sentence is not a matter for a, nay or nay. Everybody should vote so that we will be counted. When it matters, those who vote for death and those who vote for punishment.
So, hi there, welcome. Let me go back again. I want to just take it back. The topic today briefly is about Senator Ali Ndume. He put forward a plan. Listen to it. He he wants to toughen the laws for drug dealers to get death penalty. The question I'm asking is, the question I'm asking is, if Ali Ndume wants to toughen the laws for death penalty, if he wants to toughen the laws, then that should also apply to that should equally apply to the politicians as well. That is very, very important, don't you think? So that's what I came to talk about, really. So those of you who are watching us on YouTube, you will see that he wants death sentence for drug traffickers. What I'm saying is that shouldn't we all demand that politicians who loot, because we know that the drug traffickers, they have a detrimental effect on the society. The politicians in looting also have a detrimental effect on the society. Wouldn't you agree? That is what we're saying. We're saying that is what should happen. That is why we are doing what we're doing here.
Everybody should vote so that we
So,
will be counted.
so I just wanted to just touch on that and say that we should have death penalty for our beg your pardon. We should have death penalty for the politicians as well. If they are going to do this, then we should make sure that they face the same problems, they face the same issues. It is not acceptable. It is not acceptable. It is not acceptable that the politicians are saying that they should have. Let me just pause it. It is not acceptable that the politicians are saying to us that, oh, by the way, we are going to put forward death penalty for drug traffickers. But in the same breath, they are going to not put death penalty onto politicians who loot. For example, in China, for example, China says if you commit a crime, if you loot, let me read the words that China says, and I need you to really understand that. In China, an individual who embezzles in excess of RMB 50,000, I presume it's some kind of value in Chinese money, shall be sentenced to 10 years or more in prison or life imprisonment, and his property may be confiscated. If the case is extremely serious, the death penalty shall be meted out along with the confiscation of property. So that's the question I put before you, and I came to talk about it today because I wanted us to really look at what is really happening and how is that fair. If they are talking about Putin, making the law tougher. Well, why don't they make the law tougher on the politicians who come and loot? And by the way, citizens, this is where you can play your role. You're watching me on YouTube, on TikTok, and on Facebook. What we are asking for is for us to participate in this process. You can actually demand for it. You can actually demand that you can call your senators and House of Reps and tell them you want death penalty. The same death penalty that they want to be put on drug traffickers, the same death penalty should apply to the politicians. And we have a precedent in that China, one of the countries that we trade with, has got death penalty as a punishment for those who steal public funds. I think it is something that we should be looking at collectively. I think it's something that we should really advocate for strongly. And I wanted to come on board and say that here. I'm probably not going to stay too long, but I will probably come and talk about this more tomorrow. Today is going to be a bit of a hectic day for me. I'm doing one or two things, but like I said, I thought before I go, I will come on and talk about this in a way that will make sense. about this in a way that will make sense, and let's have that discussion in our communities. We should be asking the communities, every member of the community should be asking. We should be carrying out, we should have a town hall meeting to advocate for capital punishment for drug dealers and politicians who loot the nation's wealth. We should support that. Because I'll play this again. I want you to hear what Ali Ndume said, because it's very important. He said they toughen the law for drug traffickers, and that's fine. But would they pass death penalty? Let me see.
This amendment is supposed to toughen the law against drug trafficking.
So you may not be able to hear it properly if you are on TikTok, but he's basically saying that they are toughening the laws. They are toughening the laws against drug traffickers. And what we're saying is we want the same laws to be toughened against politicians who loot. That is what we're saying. Let me just check. So you see that? You see? Well, then they should equally they should make sure that the politicians who loot face death by capital punishment as well. And I think if they're going to be arguing that case, is asking for death sentence, and we're saying no. You know what? That it should only death sentence should come in place for the drug pushers if the same death sentence is applied to death sentence must be applied to politicians as well as drug traffickers. Then we can say, okay, so listen to Osemwadi is saying no. Yeah. Well.
No, we can't pass it because I don't believe that the name behind have it.
Beg your pardon?
And death.
So, one second.
So you see that sorry about this. So one second please. There is a background noise, so I'm just trying to check that noise out. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Those of you on YouTube will have to come back. Can you hear me now? So yeah, we are saying that Ali Ndume, we need. Oh goodness me. We're trying to get that noise down. Anyway, the exchange is not really. Yeah, I think it's settled down now. So we are saying that we are advocating for capital punishment to be applied to both the drug dealers and the politicians. That is what we're saying. The drug dealers should face capital punishment, and the politicians who face they should face capital punishment as well, because they cannot pass one law to favor themselves whilst they continue to loot and not deal with the effects of the looting on the nation. The politicians have actually damaged the nation seriously, and that's what I wanted to just come and say on the broadcast this afternoon, because I think it is very important to talk about it. I'm not going to stay too long, unfortunately, but good afternoon, Lovina Afrifa, and good afternoon to you all. We are on a discussion, quick discussion. We are saying that the politicians who are about to pass the law for death penalty for drug traffickers should also face the same law Sorry about this.
RMB 550,000 shall be sentenced to 10 years.
Should also face the same law. Okay, yeah. So there we go. Sorry about that. So we are saying that the politicians,
Or life in prison.
we're saying that the
His property
politicians
must be
who
confiscated. How many of them does that happen?
advocate
This
for,
is extremely serious. The death
who
penalty
advocate
shall
for
be
death
meted out
penalty
along with the
for
confiscation.
drug traffickers
So
should
when
also
Ali
face the
Ndume
same death
and,
penalty for embezzlement.
Oshiomhole
And like I
are
stated,
arguing among themselves.
China.
This is what is happening in China.
Sorry, 1 minute. As stated, China has actually passed a law that makes it. Sorry about that. China has passed a law that any politician found stealing public funds will face 10 years imprisonment, or in worst cases, a life imprisonment. And it's very important that we understand that, and we actually, begin to really advocate for that, because the politicians, they have an adverse effect on the lives of the people. They have adverse effects on the lives of the people. So I'm going to go back here. I want to just put it on here. So the reason I'm putting this here is for us to know what the topic is about. As you see, the man that's on the video is Ali Ndume. Love, peace. Thank you very much. Please do follow, like, and share. We have about another 15 minutes that we're going to talk about this. Our politicians, very good. They like making laws, but they do not like those laws to apply to themselves. And we're saying that this is where you can participate in that process. Again, I'm going to talk about section 14.2 and 14.2c. This is for Yoruba for Nigerians. We need to remind our people that you have the power to hold the governors to account. Ndidi. Hi. Yeah. Hi, Ndidi. So we have the powers to uphold our governors to account. We are saying that if the government wants to pass a law, they're about to pass a law to put death penalty, to make it mandatory for death penalty to be applied to drug dealers. That same law should apply to the politicians, because the politicians are stealing our money. And in China, again, I'm going to read that. I want people to, I will keep reiterating this. In China, an individual who embezzles in excess of RMB 50,000, I believe it's Chinese funds, shall be sentenced to 10 years or more in prison, or life imprisonment, and his property may be confiscated. If a case is extremely serious, the death penalty shall be meted out along with the confiscation of the property. And I'm saying that you, as citizens in Nigeria, you can actually advocate for that. You can have meetings in your communities right now and begin to advocate that okay. Listen, guys, it looks like my time is up. I've got to go. I need to go and do one or two things. I did try to sort of get one or two things done, but what I'll do right now, I'll come back and talk about it. But what are your thoughts on this? Should we advocate? Should we all begin to advocate? Shouldn't we be advocating that the same the same law they want to apply to drug traffickers should be applied to politicians who embezzle our funds? That is to say, that any politician or any drug trafficker caught stealing the money from caught in the act of drug trafficking or embezzling the money should face death penalty. I will come and talk some more about it, but I needed to say this because it is something to talk about. It is something that we need to think about. What are your thoughts on that issue? Leave a comment. Do you agree that it is now time that our politicians are given death sentence for looting funds? And you can do that in your community. Don't forget, I'll quickly read this. Section 14.2a states in the Constitution, Nigerian Constitution, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this Constitution, derives all its powers and authority. That is you and me. We have the powers to hold our governors to account. We have the powers to hold our governors to account 14.2a. Let me read that again. Section 14.2a states, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. That means that you can actually go and hold the government to account. You can decide that, right, that's it. We are going to pass laws that is going to make sure that you, as a politician, you comply with the laws of the land. You are not above the laws of the land. And as a sovereign, you can actually go and put that in law. You can call a town hall meeting and instruct your local government chairman, state House of Assembly members, House of Reps, the senators, and the governors that they have to go back to the National Assembly and put in the law that you support it, that death penalty should be applicable to drug traffickers as well as politicians. You have the power to do so under Section 14.2a of the 1999 Constitution. Secondly, under 14.2c, you can exercise that power by participating and demanding for that. Section 14.2c states, the participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. Now, these are things that we need to be putting forward in our communities. It's not just about just going out and shouting. We need to let people know you have the powers to hold your governors to account. And what you do with those powers is very, very important. So, from what you can see behind me, the politicians want to impose death penalty on drug traffickers, but they do not want to impose death penalty on looting politicians. That is double standards. It is double standards that we should not accept. We should actually work towards this. And I suggest that every community member calls a town hall meeting, demand for all of the representatives, your representatives, to attend the meeting, and demand that they include, since they're going to do the same thing for drug traffickers, and you agree with them, that they should also add the politicians who loot. Because right now, our politicians, they see themselves as above the law, and nobody should be above the law, because under Section 14.2a, you are the sovereigns to whom power belongs. And it states, 14.2a, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. You need to really exercise that. And I want to encourage as many of us as possible to get engaged in this process. It is not acceptable that somebody, somewhere, will pass a law, knowing fully well that it's only going to impact others and it won't impact themselves. They should also fall under the same law. What is good for the goose, they say, is good for the gander. Sort of an English saying of some kind. But anyway, the point is well made here. And I want to reiterate again. In China, they have that law. I'll read the law to you one more time, then I'll wrap it up. In China, it says, if in China, an individual who embezzles excess of RMB 50,000 shall be sentenced to 10 years or more in prison or life imprisonment, and his property may be confiscated. If a case is extremely serious, the death penalty shall be meted out, along with confiscation of the property. What I'm saying is that it is now time that the people, begin to advocate for that. Because as we all know, many of us are complaining about what is going on because our politicians are looting and they're getting away with it. It is time that we attach the death penalty. What do you say? How do you see this? Only for time purposes. If it wasn't for that, I would happily have stayed and we can discuss. I may come back and do a live broadcast and talk about it. But in the meantime, what are your thoughts on it? Those of you on YouTube, those of you on Facebook, and of course on TikTok. What are your thoughts on what you see behind me? The death penalty should be applicable to the drug traffickers as well as the politicians. And we actually have the power to do so. This is something that we can get behind. So I want to hear your thoughts on it. Leave comments. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Help us grow the platform. We are over 3,000 now on YouTube, and we're growing every day, and we're grateful. But please subscribe to Season Ewa on YouTube. I will change that date. I should have changed. Today is the 11th. So let me quickly make that change, because I like to be very deliberate when I'm doing things. I'll quickly change the date so that we do not have a misconception. Today is the 11th, and I'm well aware, but because I was rushing today, I wasn't able to actually do my normal stuff with it, but that's okay. We will quickly make the change now. 11th being the 11th is now Ojo Orunmila Ifa. So we're going to change that quickly, and you will see that change on the screen. Those of you that are on please. Oh, sorry about this. I don't know why it's doing that now. It's being difficult right now. I don't know why. Okay, let me try one more time. So today is actually the 11th. So bear with me if you. I'm just trying to make that change quickly, but it doesn't seem to want me to do it. But if not, I will do it after the broadcast, no doubt. But be rest assured. Okay, let me quickly make that change because I always believe that we should make the change correctly. Today is Ojo Batala, the 11th of May. Ojo Batala is the second day of the Yoruba week, and we need to be very, very deliberate and precise about how we portray our African calendar. It is something that is very crucial to who we are. But like I said, the topic remains, of course, like I said, about Senator Ndume and the fact that they have to understand and that we the people, we are saying that they must include the politicians alongside the drug traffickers to face death penalty. What say you? Let me just quickly check I don't know what's happened there. I want to make sure this is right. I don't know why that's suddenly gone. Sorry, that was me. That was me. Okay, I'm gonna quickly make a change now. Be replaying. Okay, good. Good. Okay. So we're just trying to make the change quickly. So I guess what we will do is this. We're just gonna make sure that we are all on board with that. Okay, so put that on there. Okay, so that is the date. So today is Ojo Onumilaifa. We're in April, May, and thank you so much for watching. We are advocating that the politicians and the drug traffickers face death penalty. So they shouldn't exclude the politicians. The politicians should face the same drug penalty and death penalty they want to inflict on drug traffickers. They are both the same. They are both wreaking havoc on our societies. What are your thoughts on this? Ladies and gentlemen, you're of course watching Season the platform where we speak truth to power. Please leave a message, share the broadcast, and help us grow the platform. For now, I'll have to be calling it a day. I will have to bring it to an end here. Thank you so much for watching. You've been watching Season the platform where we speak truth to power. Don't forget, go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Subscribe to Citizen AY. Subscribe, hit the notification button, and of course, give us a thumbs up and help us grow the platform. We are grateful for your support. Thank you so much for watching. You've been listening to and watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. What are your thoughts on this? The politicians should also face death penalty alongside the drug traffickers. That is something that we should support. What do you say? What are your thoughts? Let's hear your comments. Leave those comments, of course, also on YouTube or Facebook or TikTok. For now, it's bye from here. Thank you so much, and I'll be back later on. Thank you, and bye for now. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, and of course, give us a thumbs up. Thank you so very much for watching. You've been listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth. I'll be back later on. Thank you, and bye for now. Bye for now. Okay. Okay, so now. Okay, so what we want to do is to continue. We will be back later on. For now, we're going to end the broadcast. So I'll be ending the broadcast here. Thank you. So again, finally, those of you who are on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. You've been listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'll be back later on. Please do share. What are your thoughts? Leave your comments and I'll endeavor to answer as many of them. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, of course, give us a thumbs up. Thank you so very much. I'll be back later on. Thank you and bye for now.